give more returns. Get more security and more interest on your fixed deposits from Sri Lanka's largest finance company, LMDtv Finance.
The key to quality and efficiency. Be a jewel. Professionalism is the jewel in the corporate crown.
Refresh Sri Lanka for a civic-minded society. In association with AICPA and SIMA and 99X. LMD, the voice of business.
Hello and welcome to LMDtv. Tonight on the forum, we're zooming in on innovation in the insurance sector, and we're talking to the Deputy CEO of Union Insurance, Senath Jayatilake. It's very nice to have you on the show, Senath.
Thank you for having me.
To start things off, Senath, can you give us an assessment of how the sector is really performing, especially against the backdrop of all the macroeconomic challenges that we're experiencing right now in Sri Lanka?
So the insurance industry, both locally and globally, was one of the very few industries to continuously perform despite challenges from both a global context and especially in Sri Lanka in a local context. So the industry kept its growth trajectory, which goes to show not just the strength of the insurance industry, but also the strength of the demand that this industry is backed with, and the need for insurance, especially in the current context. So the industry has performed well given the context.
Talking about Sri Lanka as a market in general, it's known to have low insurance penetration, especially when we compare it to the region. But we are also seeing good strides being made by both private and public companies. In your view, when we look at the public, Sri Lankans, how has the need for insurance evolved in them over the years in general?
So you're right. Insurance penetration, no matter which benchmark, which matrix you look at, Sri Lanka's penetration rates are extremely low, even compared to regional standards. However, we have seen the penetration rates increasing consistently, though not close to any benchmark. But what has happened over the last 2 years in terms of the macroeconomic constraints this country has faced, this society has faced, has also been a catalyst to create the need for insurance. So as you know, household savings rates have taken a toll in the hyperinflationary environment. We also have inflationary pressure impacting the cost of health. And these factors, amongst many others, have increased the need for financial protection, for protection against uncertainties. And we believe that this would be a catalyst for consistent insurance penetration growth in this country in the years to come.
Senath, in a recent article, and if I quote you, you said that focusing on innovation, technology, customer service, and employee development is going to help companies stay ahead of the competition. We're very interested in the first word there, innovation. So if we look at innovation as a sector, how would you assess Sri Lanka's insurance innovation?
Right. So again, if I go back to the last two and a half years, the reason why the industry performed the way it did, managed to stay afloat, was because it innovated. It innovated across its value chain. From product innovation to how we reach customers, to how we interact with customers, how we interact with our own staff, our sales teams. So the entire ecosystem went through a rigorous process of innovation, because the very fundamentals of how insurance is sold and bought was challenged during these couple of years. And that led to innovation, and that innovation phase is continuing. And that's a positive aspect that we can take from the last couple of years.
Would you say that that fundamental, buying statement, when you say it's changing, is it changing from negative to positive? Because we've always seen insurance being sold as, stay out of danger. Is that changing?
It is. So insurance was traditionally sold based on a face-to-face interaction. However, the use of digital tools and technology to interact with customers, to reach out to customers, and customer being able to interact with an insurance company, and the expansion of an omni-channel distribution or omni-channel sales and interactions with customers have improved customer experience, because you are able to reach different customer segments in different aspects that takes the proposition of insurance closer to them. So it has been towards the positive.
Perfect. And if we talk of product innovations, going into the specific products that we are offering, both in general and life, how do you think the country's insurance portfolio should be innovated? What are we missing?
So to start off, we are an underpenetrated insurance industry, and the need for innovation is to make it as integrated to the needs of our customers, our market, as much as possible. So in product innovation, and this holds true for any industry, you need to be deeply rooted and you need to deeply integrate with the evolving needs of customers, the evolving realities of customers, the evolving realities of the market. And more importantly, especially in an industry, especially in a country, a market like Sri Lanka, where awareness levels are not at its best, you need to be proactive in your innovation. You need to be customer-centric, yes. You need to be market-centric, yes. And also you need to be proactive in your innovation processes. And that is absolutely important if we are to stay ahead.
So that's very interesting. You said we have to be customer-centric. So that might mean that customers drive innovation, but also we have to be proactive. That means the sector should drive the customers as well. What is the sweet spot that you think companies should go for?
So you have to reach the right balance because in an underpenetrated market, the onus is also on the insurance companies and industry to develop the right products to create the right needs. Whilst whatever we do, we have to have customer centricity at the core of whatever we do, because we are finally in the business of protecting lifestyles, protecting households, and therefore the needs of these customers will become and will always be pivotal to our innovation process. But again, as insurance companies, there's an onus on us as well to ensure that we proactively bring in solutions to customers based on their need evolution.
And when bringing in innovations proactively, how conducive do you think the local ecosystem is, the local insurance ecosystem, when it comes to breeding innovation? What are the things that we have and what are the things that we are missing in your view?
Right. So again, the last couple of years has accelerated the innovation desire of organizations, and organizations have realized and witnessed the true benefit value of innovation. And I think that is fundamental to have an industry, have an ecosystem that is conducive. Also, the market, if you look at the Sri Lankan market, every day is a different day. Challenges keep evolving, and with challenges, opportunities keep evolving. And as a result, the need to innovate, the importance innovation plays in driving value, and not just to customers, driving value to shareholders and your extended stakeholder group becomes very important. And that is, I think, is as conducive as it can get for organizations that really want to drive innovation to create value.
It's time to take a short break, but when we return, we'll zoom back into the insurance sector.
Display your brand message on digital screens at prime locations. The largest digital advertising network in Sri Lanka. Emerging media.
You're mobile, and so are we.
Gets me going.
Grab the Lite 87 app at the Apple App Store or Google Play now.
87.8 and 87.6 island-wide. Lite 87.
Welcome to LMDtv, and we're talking to the Deputy CEO of Union Insurance, Senath Jayatilake. You spoke of the benefits of innovation. Is there a cost of innovation?
See, it all depends on how you look at it. Innovation will not always be successful. Innovation is a risk, but it is that risk. If you do not take that risk, the cost of innovation is you being risk averse and not willing to make mistakes, and that attitude can be a big mistake. You will always have to weigh the pros and cons of every decision you take, but innovation is the only way of driving a creative value, reimagining the way you do things. Because if you look at most organizations in most industries, globally and locally, has create strong USPs through innovation. And adding value to societies it operates in, adding value to ecosystems it operates in.
Regarding my next question, we touched on this and you spoke of the importance of customer centricity. But if you can elaborate a little bit on how companies, insurance companies, should focus on customer centricity, especially given the unfavorable economic environment. What do you think the priorities should be for companies as they survive and try to grow in this environment while upholding customer centricity?
So customer centricity has always been part of an insurance industry's cooperating model. However, it becomes ever more important to be even deeply involved or deeply centric, customer centric in a rapidly evolving market situation. So uncertainties in a market also means that customer needs, customer desires, customer realities keep evolving. And therefore, the strength of your integration with the customer, your customer centricity becomes that much more important. So I think in a situation of this nature, companies need to invest a lot in engaging with their customers, connecting with their customers, and being part and parcel of the customers' need evolution and change of their realities.
Talking of changing realities, my next question is focused on something that's very close to LMD's heart. So we launched a campaign called Refresh Sri Lanka. You might have seen it, where we're trying to create a new mindset of civic mindedness, trying to create a society that looks after the needs of others. Like you were correctly saying, that's what the insurance industry does. So looking at the sector, both again, private and public companies, how important do you think civic mindedness is for insurance companies, and how can we promote this in the agenda?
Right. So civic mindedness is an aspect that is deeply embedded in the very fabric of insurance companies, because we are in the business of offering financial protection to individuals, families, and by extent to society. And civic mindedness has always been a strong part and partial of has been a strong part of an insurance company, because we strongly believe that a protected society is a society that is empowered to make change and add value to each other. So I think it is part and partial, and it's very much part and partial of an insurance company's fabric.
We always talk of civic mindedness from the protector, but when you talk of those who are protected, I mean, we hear of everything. I mean, frauds, claims that might not essentially be true. How should the other stakeholders of the industry, including customers and the general public, how can they be civic minded?
I think it's all about having your value system, having an aligned value system as an industry, as a society, because if we are to drive sustainability of not just any industry, but a society in general, civic mindedness has to be deeply rooted in the society. Because whatever we do, if we are not civic minded, if we are not focused on social sustainability, it will not create long-term value to the society and the stakeholders of the society. So civic mindedness is a two-way street, and it has to be the foundation on which society is built and industry is built, operated, and driven.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. We're almost at the end of our discussion, Senath. But before we wind things off, any closing thoughts that you would like to share with our viewers today?
So I think it's very important for us to talk about innovation in the current context. However, one aspect of innovation that we need to be mindful is that innovation cannot be done in isolation. innovation has to be done consistently. It has to be done cohesively with our entire value chain. It's not something you can do piecemeal. And for innovation to be successful, it has to be integrated very closely with the needs of your stakeholders, with a focus of driving value. And also it has to be transformational enough to create value, long-lasting value to a society. And if that happens, innovation can drive significant benefits for this country, and not just in the insurance, but in the broader landscape.
We've been talking to the Deputy CEO of Union Assurance, Senath Jayatilake. It was very nice having you on the show, Senath.
I was happy to be part of it. Thank you for having me.
And to all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, take care.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching and stay safe.